I think that we have to be prepared when dealing with a bully like Trump to match his tariffs dollar for dollar. Canada has to retaliate strongly. The provinces need to be unified. And I would argue that the best way for us to retaliate would actually be to protect those sectors where we have the potential to build out our own industries. So the effect would be to ensure that there's no economic benefit to the United States of imposing tariffs on Canada in the first instance. But secondly, I think we have to look at how we use our response to diversify our production and to reduce our vulnerability. And so I think it's a matter of not getting caught up in the rhetoric, but being clear that we can respond and that we will respond strongly. And that calls for something which I think we need in this country, which is national unity. That's not a bad thing. This has the potential to unify Canadians. And I think that we should use that opportunity to remind ourselves that everyone benefits and everyone has to be able to contribute. If we're facing a moment of potential sacrifices in the future, we should share those, and we should do it in the interest of ensuring that everyone benefits from the relationship that we have with any trading country, whether it's the United States or anywhere else. You know, you recall back when the pandemic hit and we didn't have the capacity to produce medical masks. The reason for that was we outsourced that to China. I think we learned from that experience that it's important to have capacity within our own country to produce things that we may need in an emergency. We're moving, I think, away from a world in which we could count on secure supply chains and broad trade with the rest of the world. And it may be that we're now entering into a world where we have to reconsider that.
That sure is different from the NAFTA negotiation days.
It's a stunning difference. It's almost hard to believe that we find ourselves in this situation. But it's a testament to the fact that the promise of globalization, while it generated more goods and services and trade and brought about prosperity, much of that prosperity was not widely shared. We're now in a world where we see the consequences of that rise of inequality. The United States has become, quite frankly, an oligarchy. It remains a democracy, but look at all of the wealthy billionaires surrounding Trump on the days. That's part of the problem here. And I think we really need to understand that if we are to have a sustainable prosperity and just prosperity in this country, we have to address the sources of inequality that have come from a kind of hyper globalization which has benefited a handful of people, but has left most of us behind.